Welcome to Shalom World Podcasts.
Come and play with Katie and Koco. That's the way. Get ready, let's go. Flying through the air with Koco, telling stories with Katie. You and I together, meeting my friends that help us every day. Katie and Koco, play and sing, pray and bring. You and I, we do our thing. It's Katie and Koco.
Ready to hear about an awful friend of mine?
She means awesome! So, ready, Katie? Who is it this time? Have I met them yet?
Saint Alphonsa. And no, you haven't met her yet, Koco. Why would I introduce you to the same friend twice?
I don't know, Katie. You seem pretty coconut today, so I wouldn't be surprised.
This bird. He really has some nerve, doesn't he? Well, you know what, Koco? Lots of my friends were thought by others to be coconuts too. So I'm glad you think I'm coconuts.
And I'm glad you found a way to comfort yourself. Did people think some of us was coconuts too?
As a matter of fact, they did. Especially her aunt.
Why especially her aunt?
Her mother had died 5 months after she was born. So from the time she started school, she lived with her aunt, who was very strict, and tried to arrange a marriage for our friend from the time she was 12, as was the custom in India. But our friend didn't want to get married. She wanted to become a nun. So to stop her aunt from forcing her into marriage, she became so desperate that while she was praying beside a pit of burning embers and thinking about how she could escape being married, she slipped into the embers and seriously burnt her legs and hands.
What? Katie? I think I agree with her aunt. That sounds pretty coconuts to me. Why was she praying beside the embers in the first place?
It was the only way to protect herself from being forced into marriage. Her idea was that if she disfigured herself somewhat, none of the suitors her aunt was arranging would want to take her as their wife. Originally, she thought of burning herself on purpose in her house. But after deciding that her aunt and uncle would think she was being foolish and rebellious, she went out to pray and ended up getting burnt anyway. From Alphonsa's point of view, her aunt was the one who was coconuts for insisting that she get married despite our friend's wish to enter religious life.
She must have really, really wanted to become a nun.
Sister, I want to tell you a secret. The reason I don't want to get married is because Jesus is my spouse and none other.
Oh, so she wanted to become a nun so Jesus could be her husband. Yeah, her aunt was the one who was coconuts. Did Alphonsa get to become a nun in the end?
Yes, her uncle understood her wish, and the priest who she went to for confession recommended that she join the Franciscan Clarist nuns. So she entered the convent and began the first stage of becoming a nun. That was when she chose her religious name, Alphonsa of the Immaculate Conception.
Yay! She was finally free of problems and was going to be what she had always dreamed of. Amazing!
Then she got seriously sick.
Oh, never mind.
But then she was miraculously healed after praying a novena to another Indian saint who was made blessed after her miraculous cure.
Oh, hooray!
But that wasn't the last time she became very sick.
Oh, her life just goes up and down and up and down.
Even before making her final vows as a religious sister, Alphonsa promised Jesus that she would accept all the suffering he wanted to give her, and she would offer it all up happily. As part of her ministry, she taught in the nearby high school and quickly became loved by her students for her deep kindness and care. None of them could have guessed how much pain she was always in. But when she became too ill to teach, they all came to visit her to offer her help and ask for her prayers and seek her advice.
They must have brought her a lot of comfort. No one likes to suffer alone.
They certainly did comfort her, Koco. But she still would have been happy if no one had come.
What? Why?
Because remember, She was happy to make sacrifices. In fact, she considered that a day without some sort of suffering was a day wasted. She wanted to be reminded every day of how much she needed Jesus' love and support. When your kids are upset or hurting, do you like to run to your mum and dad to make you feel better? They seem to always know what to do, don't they? Maybe they give you a nice warm hug or even give you a treat to comfort you.
Yeah, I used to love nestling under my mom's wing when I was upset. And Dad always took me to find the juiciest worms to distract me. Now I like to find a tall tree or go for a fly where I can look over the world. It always makes me feel better.
That would make me feel better too. Well, Alphonsa wanted to always have reason to run to Jesus and his mother for comfort. And she knew that she would always be welcomed there. Jesus' heart was her place of refuge, where she always found new strength to endure more sufferings and show perfect kindness to others.
But she still got sick, right?
Over and over and over again. Typhoid fever, pneumonia.
That sounds serious. You can always tell if a sickness is serious if it has a funny name.
Her most serious sickness was when she took fright at seeing a thief one night, which left her so shocked that she couldn't read or write for a whole year afterwards.
Ah! I didn't know that could happen, Katie. Never scare me again, okay? I don't want to be shocked for a whole year.
I'll try to remember, Koco.
I really mean it, Katie. I'm in the peak of my career. I can't afford not to be able to do anything for a year. I'm just a bird. My years are precious.
Koco.
Ah, Katie!
Sorry, I was just trying to get your attention. Just calm down, okay? You're not going to be shocked for a whole year.
How do you know? Promise me you'll never scare me again.
Koco.
Promise!
All right. I promise I'll never scare you again. Happy?
You better keep that promise. Did Alphonsa get better eventually?
Yeah.
Phew!
Then she got cancer.
Cancer? Ah!
Poor little bird. Koco. Nice role playing, Koco. But I'm the one who does that, remember? Koco? Come on, Koco, wake up. I know I just made a promise, but we've got to finish the story. Here we go. Koco!
Ah! What was that for, eh? You promised you wouldn't scare me!
Desperate times call for desperate measures.
Yeah, good thinking anyway. Let's just keep going with the story.
Now he wants to get back to the story. I'm beginning to wonder if I'm the one in charge here or he is. Yes, the story. Well, cancer was Alphonsa's last sickness
Finally!
because she ended up dying from it.
Ah, that's awful, Katie!
Well, in a way, it was awful, awful. She never let a moment of her suffering go to waste and never complained about the pain she was in. Instead of complaining, she would constantly pray, thanking Jesus for her suffering and begging him to give her the strength to offer it all up with love. And do you think Jesus comforted his dying bride?
Yes, absolutely!
You're absolutely right. Jesus comforted Alphonsa to the moment of her death, then welcomed her to his home in heaven, where she would never have to suffer again.
That is awful! I really am full of awe, Katie! Her suffering was worth it in the end!
Everything is worth it in the end, as long as we keep our heart fixed on Jesus. We might need Alphonsa's help though, do you reckon?
I do reckon.
Dear Saint Alphonsa, thank you for accepting all your sufferings with love and trusting in Jesus' heart for a place of comfort. Help us to offer up our own sufferings for love of Jesus and to always be a source of comfort for others as Jesus is for us. Please pray for all young people who want to enter religious life, that they may be given the chance to do so. How's that?
That was what?
What? What do you mean how was what?
I mean, what was it that you were asking me how it was?
What?
Not that you asked me first.
So, how was the story?
Yes, that's what I was asking you.
No, I was asking you.
Yes, but then you asked what? You know what? Never mind. The story was dramatic, but good.
Good, that's all I wanted to know. What is light as a feather, but even the strongest person in the world can't hold me for very long?
Another riddle. My mind is already boggled from the riddle questions you just went through.
Then it's sufficiently boggled to boggle your way through this riddle.
That shouldn't make sense, but somehow it does.
Good.
Let's see.
Well, light as a feather, but even a strong person can't hold it for very long.
I am lighter as a feather,
Yeah?
and even the strongest person in the world can't hold me for very long.
Yeah.
Ah. A
What's
really
lighter
big
than
one.
a feather? Feathers are really light. You should know, right? Because you got feathers all over you.
Yeah, you're right, Katie.
So what's even lighter than a feather?
Wind.
Wind, good. You're on the right track. But can a strong person hold wind for a long time?
Maybe not. Water. Water's pretty light.
Yeah, but it can get heavy if there's a lot of it.
Yeah.
Keep thinking along wind. What is wind made of? When wind comes, what is it? It's what's going through the air, yeah. So air is really light, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
lighter than a feather.
Yeah.
And how do we hold air?
Through our bodies?
Yeah, when we
Breathe?
exactly. And what is it called? Our
Breath.
breath. So even the strongest person in the world can't hold their breath for very long, even though it's lighter than a feather.
I'm officially boggled. Bye, kids.
Need a responser? Ask Saint Alphonsa.
Come and play,
Play with Katie and Koco.
that's the way.
Get ready, let's go.
Flying through the air with Koco.
Telling stories with Katie.
You and I together, meeting my friends. Friends that help us every day.
Katie and Koco.
That help us every day.
Katie and Koco. Play and sing.
Pray and bring you and I, we do our thing. It's Katie and Koco.
Shalom World Podcast is now available on all online platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, and others.